My name is Natasha Ray. The hardest thing about hearing news, when you hear news about your own health or science in general, is not the facts. It's knowing the right questions to ask. Sometimes when you hear the news, you might hear the ethics of what people are saying being questioned, and that might relate to health or even the law. But really, that confluence of those three things, health, ethics, and law, that is bioethics. Bioethical dilemmas aren't rare, and they aren't random. They present themselves in many aspects of our life: our economy, the foods we eat, our genetics, and even the way we are governed. Ask yourself these questions. Are your medical records really safe online? Should you be donating your organs? Should you receive donated organs? Now, these questions, they don't have a correct, instantaneous answer, but by using bioethics, there is an answer that can be derived that is ethically correct in the most ways. Consider this situation. Suppose there is a patient who has a terminal illness and they would like to stop receiving care, or in other words, end their life. Should their physician follow their wishes, or is there more to it? If that physician is not educated in bioethics, he might end up making the wrong decision, and that might upset a lot of people. But if the physician is considering bioethics, he'll be able to consider the aspects that are also concerned with that patient. He has to consider whether or not the patient is capable of making that big of a decision. He also has to consider whether or not the patient's family is okay with that decision. And also, he has hospital policy to think about, which will govern how he tends to react. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, he's a physician, but how does that relate to me? As I said before, bioethics is prevalent in many fields of life. But as teenagers, we are the future leaders of the world, and we are the future people who will be in that physician's shoes, and we will be making those important decisions. So I have been really interested in learning about and discussing bioethics in the past year. So I started a bioethics discussion club at my school where we talk bi-weekly about ethical issues that are in the news. And I think it's really helped to foster a sense of understanding about the world and my peers. And this summer, I also attended a course at Smith College about biomedical ethics. And I think the most important thing I learned from that is, even though there are ethical issues that aren't here in our community, they are present in the entire world. And I learned that even if there's a solution that isn't very evident at the time, you can always create a solution that is ethically correct. So my message to the audience is the most important thing is to understand the news. Because once we understand that news, we are easier able to influence the world, make a difference, make a change, really understand that news, and end up making that news. And I think the other important thing is to always know that there are different viewpoints other than the one that you have. And once you can consider those different viewpoints, you will be able to understand what other people are going through and make more ethically correct decisions. I, Natasha Ray, have a vision to educate as many people as possible about bioethics because it is going to help us better our understanding of life itself. Thank you.